this won't take long. Okay, Joseph, I don't know what you're doing over there, but you need to quit pounding on the desk. Alright, here we go. 7.2. Solving percent equations. See, he's even excited.
Oh, no, I got spring.
No, I know. You're just excited. Okay, 7.2, solving percent equations. All right. Now, the formula, I need to introduce this to you. It is percent times whole equals part.
I've heard of this.
You probably learned it last year.
Don't remember how to do it. I remember that.
And this is a weird star. Okay, so percent times whole equals part. There's also, a way to solve it by way of proportion. Whoops. Proportion. That would be part over whole equals percent over, of course, 100.
I have a question.
Yep.
This is multiplication and this is division. Wouldn't we multiply?
This is multiply. Mm-hmm. This, we're going to be doing, we would do cross multiply.
Okay. See, I saw the over and...
Yep. No, that proportion, you would be doing cross multiplication.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Now, I'm going to show you a different method. One of the biggest problems, or if there's ever a problem, it's kids sometimes have trouble remembering what the whole is and what the part is. Okay, so for some kids it's easy. For some it's difficult. Well, sometimes you don't even have to worry about it. For example, let's say the problem is 5% of 115. I'll put question. What is 5% of 115? You know how you solve that?
Yes.
How?
You put 5 over and like a whole, and then 15, or 5 over 100, and then
5% of 100.
And then 15 over n.
115.
Over n.
Okay, but so what is this? The whole or the part?
The whole. Or n over 115.
Okay, you can do that. You can do 5 over 100 equals n over 115 because you got to remember this is a whole. Or, watch this. Are y'all watching? That's how you look. Change this to a decimal. How do I do that? Raise your hand. Atalia?
You pretend with the pretend decimal, put it over 2 spaces to the left.
Remember we did that yesterday? So then this would be 0.05, right? Mm-hmm. What did I tell y'all of is?
Equals.
No. It was on this sign up here for years. Years. Until just recently. What is of?
What?
Nope. Multiplication. Of is always multiplication. And then you bring down 115. Boom. That's all you do. You don't even have to worry about what is the whole or the part or do cross multiplication. Look at that. Just change this to a decimal. There's always multiplication. Bring that down. Yes, ma'am?
How would you know where, like, which one's whole part and percent?
Bingo.
Okay.
Some people know. Some people get it. Some people, it's hard. Right here. You don't have to know what's whole and part, do you? 0.05 times 150 is, and I'm just going to do it, $5.75. There's your answer. So we could do it all these other ways. If you know that this is the whole, because it's 5% of something, then you would set it up like this. Or you could set it up as proportion. So if we were to do it as a proportion, right here, we would have N as a tile. So I'm going to do it in red. Because we don't know what the part is. This would be 115 equals 5 over 100.
How do you know which one goes where, though?
That's sometimes the confusing part, and then you would cross multiply. Or you can just do it this way. See what I'm talking about, y'all? You can do it this way. You can try to remember the formula, which is really kind of like this, or you can just say, okay, it's a percent changed to decimal, of means times, bring this down, multiply, boom. This is your percent, this is your whole, this is your part. Let's do some more. So,
You learned this, did they learn this in 7th grade? When they were doing?
in 7th grade, in 6th grade,
6th grade, when they were doing 7th grade math.
y'all learn percent, whole, and part.
But we didn't learn where each one went.
Okay.
Is that what you're referring to? Oh,
Okay, so real quickly, but that's okay, you're learning it now. Remember, if you're changing a decimal to percent, you move decimal right 2 places. If you're doing a percent to decimal, move decimal, I said right, left 2 places. Okay. So that is just, a reminder. Just a reminder. Let's do another example. Once y'all have this down. I taught all of this to 6th grade, how to put it right underneath, and they aced it. Their only problem is multiplying and dividing with decimals. That's their mathematical errors was it. So that should tell you that this stuff isn't going to be bad. Okay, let's say it's 104% of 250. What is 104% of 250? Tanner, you want to solve this? Okay.
So we would do 1.04.
Absolutely, because we got to change this to a decimal. So we move this to the left 2 places, and she's correct. It's 1.04. What is of?
Times.
And then bring down 250. Okay, so then all you need to do is over to the side, 250 times 1.04. And don't forget there's 2 places in the problem behind the decimal.
Oh.
We're multiplying. Don't forget there's 2 places.
I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Well, 4 times 0 is?
0.
4 times 5?
20.
4 times 2?
8.
Plus 2?
9. 10.
Wait, what?
10.
Okay. Alright, so add our little place there, so it's 0, 0, 0, so 3 zeros.
Yeah, and then the last one I got 25,000.
You're close. So we have 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 2 is 2. We have 0, 0, 0, 1, and 5.
26.
Now, how many total places?
2.
So we put a decimal right there,
160.00.
or just 260. Unless you're doing money, which just wasn't money, you can just drop that. Any questions?
So, do we have any questions longer than this math thing?
Let me do some more. Let's do some more. Does everyone have this?
Yes.
Do you have a question? If you want to do this, that's fine too. Same problem. All right, Kelly. What if this time I have a mixed percent? Mixed number as a percent. So I have 12.5% of 4,500. So first, what do I need to do to that percent or that mixed number?
You need to turn it into an improper fraction.
Okay, you could go that route and then divide and turn it to a decimal, right? Or what is a half in decimal form?
That's what I was thinking to do.
Yeah.
I know for sure.
You can do that.
12.5.
That's right. So we have 12.5%. Right? Now, Kelly, we have to take it out of percent. How do I do that?
You want to move the decimal 2 times to the left.
That's right. So what do I get?
0.12, 125.
Yep. 1.125. What is of?
Is times.
And then 4,500.
Sorry, I'm slow.
No, you're fine. Okay, so then off to the side, you do the math. Don't forget, there are 3 places in the problem behind the decimal.
Okay, 562,500.
Did you put in your decimal?
Yes, so it is 562.500.
It's money. So how many places after the decimal should we have?
2.
So then it's $562.50.
a 1 instead of a 5 in front.
Okay, so then that was just a mathematical error. Be careful with that, okay? All right. Any questions on that part? All right, let's move on. We got more. Now, we're going to be finding what percent one number is of another. All right. For example, and you're going to solve this the same way, with one little catch. What if it says, what percent of 12 is 16? Okay, watch what I do after y'all get this written down. All right. What is of, everyone?
Multiplication.
We bring down our 12. Does anyone know what is?
Equals.
All right, so we have of 12 equals 16. Do we know what percent is?
No.
So then I tell my students, call it P for percent. That's what we're missing. Look, there we have our equation. You just bring it underneath. What percent? Well, we don't know. That's what we're looking for, so we can just call it P. Of is multiplication, 12 equals 16. So what is P times 12?
12P.
Y'all see where I'm going with this? There's your intruder alert. What do I do to solve for P? Raise your hand. Natalia?
16 by 12. We'll technically divide both sides by 12.
Exactly. You're going to divide both sides by 12, so this cancels out. So I'm left with P equals. So then you need to do the math. See how many times 12 goes into 16. And it looks like you're going to have to probably put in a decimal or two. So first person to get it raised their hand. Kelly?
1.3 line over 3.
Okay, so what you found is it's 1, 3, 3, 3, etc. repeating, right? Okay, well, here's the big kicker. We're looking for percent. What we have here is 1.33 repeating. So I had it in decimal form, but I need percent. I need to change this to a percent. Change to percent. Guys, this gets my students all the time. They'll get to right here and then box this answer. I'm done. No, you're looking for percent. Back here, they gave you the percent. This time we're looking for it. So, Kelly, how do I turn this to a percent?
What you want to do is percent, move it 2 times, move the decimal 2 times to the right.
That's right. We're going to move 2 times to the right. Now, if you remember, this is like 3, 3, 3, 3. You're going to round. So, it would be 133.333, etc. So if this is below 5, it just stays as 133%. Got it? The only thing that really gets my students, everyone everyone gets on board. I remember of the 8th grade class last year, which ones sometimes struggled with this. And they were stubborn little children, I'm not going to name names, who refused to write out the question and write the little things underneath. Now, some kids won't need to do this. They can just write out P times 12 equals 16 and be good. But these particular kids would get it wrong. And I'm laughing. I'm like, all right, write out the sentence and then write underneath what each thing means. They would literally do this and then switch it all up underneath. And I'm like, come on now. It's right there in front of you. But by the end of 7th grade, they're fine. So remembering to change it to percent when it's asking for percent, that I get. It's hard to remember to do that because you're focused on doing all this other work. You get to here, I'm done. I got my answer. It's so hard. So I tell my students, whenever they're asking for percent, I don't care what you do. Circle it, star it, highlight it, or something so that you can remember to go back and change it to percent. Okay? So that's the only thing that really gets my students. All right, let's do another. All right. 108 is what percent of 150? Joseph.
So first you bring down the 108.
Perfect.
And is means equal, so you bring that down too. And then you bring down 150.
And what is of?
Of is multiplication.
Okay, so the only thing we're missing here is what?
Percent.
So I'm circling this so that I remember, okay, they're looking for percent. When I get my answer, I got to go back and change that. So what do we put in place of this?
A P.
I try to tell my students to do P for percent. I don't know. That'll help them maybe. Okay, so Joseph, what is P times 150?
150 P.
And then I bring down the equal sign. Do y'all see what I'm doing here? Now, Joseph, intruder alert, what do I do?
So I divide 150 by both sides.
We're dividing because the 150 is being multiplied with the P. We want the P all by itself, so we have to get rid of the 150. So then over here, I have 108 being divided by 150. And Joseph, I'm going to let you work this out. And then you tell me what you get. You feeling okay, Natalia? Okay. You sure about that? Okay. Just making sure. See more. Got anything, Joseph?
No.
Almost, okay.
I got something.
What'd you get?
0.72.
Okay. So you got 0.72, right? Basically? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your final answer? What do we have to do?
To change it to 1%.
Yes, sir. How do I do that?
Move the decimal to the right twice.
Very good. Move it 2 places to the right. That makes it 72% is what we're looking for. Natalia caught me chewing on my fingers while y'all were working and reminded me about our little germ lab. And every time she catches me, every time I do that, and I picture that stuff all over my face. Thank you, Talia, for reminding me that I'm nasty. And I have germs, and this is why I'm probably sick all the time. Okay. Any questions on this? Is it making sense that the hardest part is really just dividing over here, right?
And you touch everything.
I know. I can't remember the last time I cleaned that mouse. Or this. This is even discolored, and I'm like, okay, I gotta stop that. Nasty, Mrs. Rogers. Okay, 28% of what number? Oh dear, this is different. Of what number is 182? That's a question mark. 28% of what number is 182? Talia, you ready? Okay. What do I do with 28%?
So you just bring down the 28. Well, sorry. Then make it to decimal. So you move it up 2 spaces to the left, which gets you 0.28.
Good.
So we're trying to find a decimal?
Do what?
We're trying to find the percent.
No, we have the percent this time.
Oh, the part. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, this would be the whole. But no. Hold on. That's what, we have the part.
So we're trying to find whole.
But that's why I'm saying that's what's confusing, is which is whole, which is part. You don't have to worry about that. If you see a percent, change it to a decimal. What is of? No. Thank you, Talia. What is?
Equals.
We bring down 182. And then this is what we're missing. See, up here, 108 is of 150. Oh, we're looking for the percent here. That's what's missing. Here, we have the percent. We're looking for this thing. Okay? So, Natalia, we're just looking for the number. What do you want to call it? N. That's exactly what I would have called it.
So, 0.28 n.
Okay, so 0.28 times n is 0.28 n.
Equals
182. Does everyone see what we're doing here? Are you all sure? Okay, so then Natalia, how do I solve this?
So now you're going to divide both sides by 0.28.
Bingo. Because we want to isolate that variable. And so over here, you'd be doing 182 divided by 0.28. Oh no, there's a decimal in the divisor. What shall I do, Natalia?
You can't have that, so you're going to move it over to the right 2 times, which means you have to do the same thing to the person inside. So,
Move it over.
so your new equation would be 228, or 101.
This is what you...
Yeah.
Okay, do y'all see what she's doing? So we have to divide, and Natalia, go ahead and work it out. Because there's a decimal out here, we had to move it out, just like y'all learned in 7.1. What we do there, we got to do over here. So here's my new problem. And she's over there working it out. And we're not looking for a percent, so she's not going to have to change it. 6 point? Why? What'd you get here?
Well, I don't know, because I kind of messed up in the middle, and so I kind of...
No, the decimal's the issue. The numbers aren't.
Well, because I got... Well, technically I got 00650.
Okay, that's the answer. You didn't have to change it to percent.
Yeah, but... Oh, you know what I did?
I think you changed it to percent.
No, you know what I did?
You did this.
No, yeah, that. Except I pretended that the decimal was in front of the zeros.
Okay.
So that's why. Okay. Sorry.
No, that's fine. All right. Okay, then we solved that. Any questions on that problem? None? All right. Do you see why all of these are like the same thing? And why I don't have that many examples? Open up your book to page 273. 273. Does everyone have this? Now, remember, if you just write down what each thing means and solve, you're good to go. So, number 2. Kelly, 3.5% of 90. Tell me what to do.
Okay. So, you move the decimal to the right, I think?
To the right or the left?
To the left.
To the left. That's going to be y'all's biggest issue, too. I put in a 0. So what do you get?
You get 0.035.
What is of?
I did it right. Of is times.
And 90. There you go. Now all you do is solve. And for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is. If you solve it... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh, I feel bad now.
A way to remember what way the decimal, or at least the way that helps me remember which way the decimal goes. I don't know if this means something, but like I just think percent is always to the right. I don't know what that just. I'm just thinking percent is to the right. I guess just.
Hey, whatever helps. There you go.
So that's how I've been remembering which way to go.
Hey, that's good because no one else has been able to figure out anything. Any questions on how to do that?
There's 2 spaces.
Huh? What?
I mean, there's 3.
Oh.
Oh, you mean the 0?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's same thing, same problem. If you it's the exact same problem.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry.
So on a test, I told you this yesterday, but so I asked you on my thing if I wanted to put if I could put the 0. And
You're supposed to show me.
okay, I know, but so it said something about like, because I had to have 3 decimal places behind, right? But I counted the 0 as one of the decimal places, and I got it wrong because it was supposed to be 1 over. The 0 wasn't supposed to be there, so I think, like for example, it would be 4, 3, 1, 0, for example. 4,
0 would count as a space.
Right, but on my test, I put 0, that was wrong, and it was supposed to be the next one over.
Okay, and I told you yesterday, bring me the test so we can look at it. Bring me the test so we can look at it. All right, 8. Tanner, 8 is what percent of 400? And you're going to tell me what to write.
Okay, so we're bringing down the 8. And then we would do, is equals.
Yep. What is of?
Multiplication.
And then we bring down.
The 400.
And then what are we looking for?
P.
which is the percent. Do something to help remind you to change it to percent in the end. So what's P times 400?
400.
Equals 8. See, I'm bringing it all down. 8 equals P times 400 is 400P. Does everyone see that? You need to write exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so Tanner, what do I do now?
Then you would divide both sides by 400.
Yes, ma'am. Good job. So over here, it would be 8 being divided by 400. For the sake of time, I want to write down how you solve this. Well, 400 goes into 8. 0 times 400 goes into 80. 0 times 400 goes into 800 2 times. So there's really your answer. But 0.02 equals P, but we're not done. We gotta change it to percent. So how do I do that?
Move it over 2 times.
To the
Left.
we did that up here to change it to out of percent. So then we change it to the.
Right.
So then what's your answer?
2%.
That's right. Any questions? Yes.
Can it be 0.02%?
That's fine. It's the same thing.
But it's moving because of the 0. Oh no, the percentage. Sorry, never mind. No,
Okay.
I just realized.
Last one. 18. Because I think you guys understand just plugging in information. Natalia Joseph, who wants to do it? Alright. Natalia's going to do it. 15.8 is 40% of what number?
Okay, so you have to make 15.8 into a what's it called, percent?
Why?
Or a I have percent. Okay, now you just bring it down.
Very good. It's to throw you off. Good job.
Okay, and then is you know what? Instead of writing is, I already wrote equals when I was writing it. Okay.
So is equals.
And then you bring down 40%.
Well, wait. This changes to a. So you move the decimal. So that becomes 0.4 or 40, whichever.
And then times. And then N.
And then N, because we don't know what that is.
Okay, so then that really, it's 15.8 equals 0.40 N.
And then we solve this by?
I'm sorry. By dividing both sides by 40.
0.40. Okay, so it would be 0.40 going into 15.8. And Natalia, you always get these. What do I do with the decimal here?
You go 2 spaces to the right, which means
You have to do that here too, right? So we move it 2 places to the right.
which is 40 on the outside, and then 100. Well, yeah.
Yep.
I can
And to save on time, I'm going to just tell you the answer. I know, but I want to give y'all independent work time. There you go. I robbed you, I know. But remember what we have coming up, and I want to give y'all time in class. All right, any questions? You notice it's the same thing each time. You're just putting the stuff underneath and just solving it differently, looking for different things. I keep doing it, don't I?
Yes.
I need to wear gloves.
You did it earlier when she was solving it. I saw you.
That's why you keep smiling at me.
Yeah.
I am a nasty individual. I am a germy person.
Just file your nose down.
Okay. I don't have nails.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's not that. it's the dry skin I chew on. I got problems.
That's nasty.
I know. I'm nasty. I admit it. 1, 2, 3,
That's like
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And it's you have unwashed sheets and just going and biting all the little dead skin cells.
Okay,
Disgusting.
you're gonna have 9 problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, I wrote 9.
1 to 9 all. That's just lovely in the chart, isn't it?
Yes.
1 to 9. Also, I kind of like burnt myself with my paper because my finger slid across right here, and now I have like a bump and it's really red. Because it was never before, and I like
Oh dear.
went like that, and it like
All right.
starting to swell.
This is due Wednesday. You also have IXL due Monday. And your exam is Wednesday of next week.
By people's.